Hello everyone, welcome to semester 2, week 3 of academic skills and studying with confidence module. So first of all, let's see the learning outcomes of this session. So at the end of the session, you will be able to understand academic writing conventions such as structure, tone, and referencing. And you will be able to get an overview of essay and report writing techniques, and you will be able to get an introduction to academic vocabulary and language. So these are the specific learning outcomes of today's session. So let's move on to the next slide that explains about academic writing. So definition of academic writing is given here. Academic writing refers to the style of writing used in academic disciplines, characteristic by critical, objective, and formal context. So it is expected from you to write academic writing for your academic skills assignment, as you know. And for all the assignments, for all your writing in the academic setting as a student, you will have to use academic writing. So importance of academic writing is effective academic writing is crucial for communicating research findings, ideas and arguments within scholarly communities and for achieving academic success. So for you to achieve academic success, academic writing is vital. Now let's see structure of academic writing. When you are structuring your academic writing or academic essay, you have to structure it according to the given slide, which is introduction, body section, and conclusion. You can start your academic writing with an introduction, which identifies the topic or purpose of your writing and orientate the reader and state your thesis statement or your main argument within this introduction. Then you can move on to the body section, which include several paragraphs depending on the length of your assignment. So provide more detailed information about the topic within the body section because it is the lengthiest section of your writing. This can include examples, statistics, graphs, tables, charts to support ideas, and you have to analyze the evidence using your critical analytical skills within this body section. Once you have completed your body section, you have the last section of your writing, which is the conclusion. So this should be a summary of your writing. This can restate the thesis statement or the main argument, summarize the key points, and include final insights and recommendations. So this is how you can structure your academic writing. So this explains about the introduction section. So introduction's purpose is the introduction serves as the opening segment of an academic paper, aiming to capture the reader's attention, provide context, and present the thesis statement. So this is very important to capture the reader's attention because this is the first part of your writing. So your introduction can include components such as a hook, background information, and thesis statement. What do we mean by the hook? It is an engaging statement to capture the reader. So it can be a question or anecdote to draw the readers. Then background information means contextual details to help reader understand your topic. Then a concise statement that outlines the main argument or purpose of the paper, which is called the thesis statement, should be presented in your introduction. So an example for this is given here as well for your reference. Then let's move on to body paragraphs, which is the second part of your writing. So the body paragraphs form the core of the essay, presenting supporting arguments, evidence and analysis to substantiate the thesis statement or your main argument. So components of the body paragraphs include topic sentence, which means a sentence that introduces the main idea of the specific paragraph within the body section. Then supporting evidence such as facts, statistics, examples or quotations that support the topic sentence. And then you have to have the analysis, which means interpretation and explanation of the evidence, demonstrating its relevance to the thesis. And there should be a smooth transition between paragraphs to maintain coherence and flow. So the logical flow is very important when you are writing your body section because there should be a coherence among your ideas. Then we are moving on to the last section of your academic writing structure, which is conclusion. Conclusion provides a closure to the paper by summarizing key points of the writing and restating the thesis and giving final insights or recommendations. So components of your conclusion include restatement of thesis, which means a rephrased version of the thesis statement, reminding readers of the main argument, and summary of key points, which is very important. Concise recap of the main arguments presented in the body paragraphs should be presented through your conclusion. Then final thoughts, which means reflections on the significance of the topic, implications for future research, or calls to action could be included in your conclusion. An example for this is given here for your reference as well. Right. Then we are going to look at referencing, because referencing is very important as an academic when you are doing your academic writing. So why we do referencing? It is important to acknowledge the source. To reference is to acknowledge a source, which means stating who and where ideas and information have come from. So to maintain academic integrity, it is important to give the credit to the real authors of the source that you are using for your academic writing. So you have to do in-text citation, as well as you should add that to your reference list using APA style, which we have discussed in first semester as well. So example of in-text citation and reference list is given in this slide for your reference. You can always refer to the library to understand the APA reference structure as well. Now we are going to look at essay writing techniques. So these are the techniques that can use when you are writing your essay. Pick an interesting topic. So start by choosing a topic you find exciting, because you should find a topic that make it interest for you so that you can work on it in a better way. Then plan and organize. It is very important that you plan for the writing and organize it properly. Before you start writing, take a moment to plan out your essay. Then make a list of the main ideas you want to talk about, along with some supporting points. So the planning and organizing is therefore key for your essay writing. Then formulate a thesis statement, because your essay needs a main idea called a thesis statement. So it is like the big point you are trying to prove. So you have to set the thesis statement for your essay. Then conduct thorough research and gather data. So it is important that you do research using credible sources and gather data for your essay. So if your essay needs facts or quotes, do some research. Look for information in books, articles, especially because they are the scholarly credible sources. You can use Google Scholar for this, and also you can use eLibrary to access scholarly sources. Then the next technique, write the introduction. So start writing your essay with something interesting to catch the reader's attention. So as we discussed before, you can use a question, quote, a short story to start your essay. Then write the paragraphs. So each part of your essay should focus on one main idea. So commence with a topic sentence that say what the specific paragraph is about. Then you can give examples or facts to explain your idea. Then another technique is craft a persuasive conclusion. Conclude your essay by summarizing the main points and rephrasing your thesis statement in a fresh manner. Make the conclusion short and clear, and think about what your main idea means and why it is important. Then also it is important to check your work. Once you have finished writing introduction, body, and conclusion, check your work. Then read your essay again to find mistakes. Look for places where you can make your writing clearer or fix spelling mistakes. Then get help from others. You can show your essay to your teacher or to your friend to get their feedback on your work, so that you can develop it based on their feedback. And finally, you can make it look nice. When you are done making changes, check to make sure your essay looks good. Make sure your writing is neat and easy to read. Then your essay is ready to show off. So keep these things in your mind when you are writing your essay. Now we are moving on to report writing. So report writing or report is another type of um, academic writing. So report writing involves the structured presentation of information, analysis of findings in a written format. Reports are typically written documents that convey specific information to a targeted audience for a particular purpose. So reports are commonly used in professional, academic, and organizational contexts to document research, project developments, analyses, proposals, or provide recommendations. Effective report writing requires clear organization, concise language, and attention to detail to ensure that the intended message is communicated accurately and comprehensively to the audience. So this is about report writing. Now you know about report writing and essay writing. With that, we are going to look at the difference between a report and essay. So if you look at the report, it presents information with a clear purpose to a specific audience, and it a result of a research and no analysis of data or issues. So often simulate industry reports. But when we look at essay presents a logically structured answer to a particular question or questions, usually presented as an argument. So this is used to demonstrate knowledge, understanding, and critical thinking as a cohesive whole. And when we are going to structure reports and essays, reports, they have specific sections using numbered headings and subheadings, and reports may use graphics such as tables, graphs, and illustrations. But if you look at essays, they are continuous flow of text using minimal subheadings. So it has more text and rarely use graphics and rarely has recommendations or appendices. So these are the differences between a report and an essay. So this is the class activity from today's session. Then this is for next week, and these are the references used for today's session. So that's all about today's session, and thank you so much for watching.